You think your drive is a strength. Your ability to push harder, go further, and do more. It's what's built your career, your reputation, your entire identity. But what if I told you that drive might actually be a trauma response? What if your need to excel isn't coming from inspiration, but from fear? Fear of being unseen. Fear of being unworthy. Fear of what happens if you stop. When we talk about success, the world celebrates the overachiever. The woman who can juggle a million things and make it look effortless. But here's the truth. Overachievement has a shadow side. Behind every perfectly executed plan, every late night, every extra project you volunteered for, there can be a deeper wound. A wound that says, I'm only safe if I'm useful. I'm only loved if I'm exceptional. Think about the last time you said yes when you wanted to say no. You didn't want to disappoint them. You didn't want to seem like you weren't committed. So you took it on. That moment might seem small, but when you add up years of those moments, you've built an entire identity on doing what's expected instead of what's aligned. Trauma doesn't always look like abuse or tragedy. Sometimes trauma is subtle. It's growing up in a home where love was conditional, where you were praised for achievements, but not simply for existing. It's having your worth tied to what you could produce. When that's your early wiring, achievement becomes survival. You learn to avoid stillness because stillness feels unsafe. You learn to control everything because unpredictability was once dangerous. I remember working with a client who could never close her laptop before midnight. She told me, if I stop, I'll fall behind. When we dug deeper, what she really meant was, if I stop, I'll be forgotten. That wasn't about her inbox. That was about a childhood where love was given for performance, not presence. As adults, this wiring plays out like this. You can't rest without guilt. You overcommit because saying no feels like failure. You panic when things aren't under your control. You achieve one goal and immediately set another without stopping to celebrate. And here's the dangerous part. Society will reward you for it. They'll call you a rock star, a powerhouse, a machine. But they won't see that you're running on empty. They won't see that your nervous system is on high alert, 24/7. You might notice it in how you react when someone else gets credit for something you contributed to, or how uncomfortable you feel when there's nothing urgent on your plate. Stillness feels like failure. That's the nervous system saying, we don't know how to be safe unless we're producing. Eventually, your body will force you to slow down. Maybe it's burnout. Maybe it's illness. Maybe it's the sudden inability to care about the work you once lived for. This is the wake-up call most high achievers ignore until it's too late. The drive that once made you feel powerful starts to feel like a cage. When the crash comes, it's not just physical, it's emotional. Suddenly, you look at your calendar and realize you don't even want half of what's on it. You've built a life that's impressive to others, but uninspiring to you. And in that moment, you have two choices. Keep performing or start transforming. So how do you know if your overachievement is a trauma response? Ask yourself, would I still be doing this if no one ever knew I did? Am I doing this because I want to, or because I'm afraid not to? If I stopped today, would I feel peace or panic? Healing means detaching your worth from your work. It means redefining success in a way that nourishes you, not drains you. One of the first exercises I give high achievers is called the no list. It's exactly what it sounds like. A list of things you will say no to for the next 30 days. No extra committees. No late night email just to get ahead. No filling your plate just to avoid the discomfort of an empty space. It's in the no's that your yeses get more powerful. What would it look like to build a life from inspiration instead of fear? To choose projects because they excite you, not because you're terrified of losing relevance. To rest without the voice in your head screaming that you're falling behind. This is what moving from burnout to spiritually lit actually looks like. It's not about abandoning ambition. It's about letting ambition serve your soul, not your wounds. Your worth was never meant to be proven. It was meant to be lived. And the most magnetic leaders, they're not the ones hustling for validation. They're the ones so anchored in who they are that their presence speaks louder than their performance. If this message hit you in the gut, you're not alone. High achievement doesn't have to come from pain. You can build success from joy, trust, and alignment. If you're hearing this and thinking, "That's me," you don't need to burn your life down to heal. You need to listen. Pause. Ask yourself the question you've avoided. Who am I without the achievement? And then give yourself the gift of finding out.